Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. We have a fun one today. I've been greatly looking forward to filming this. Today we are going to look at the newest palette from Nomad. This is the Nomad Ghost Town USA palette. Look at the front of it change there, like a little bit of a hologram. It is a $49 palette that they're calling an intense eyeshadow palette, and they say they are releasing it in time for spooky season. Side note, little question, maybe irrelevant, but I'd like to know, when did we start calling Halloween time or fall spooky season? That's new, relatively. The past year or two, all of a sudden I'm seeing it everywhere. We used to say it's almost Halloween. Now we say it's almost spooky season. Does anyone know the origin of that? Because everyone's saying it now. As I said, it might not be relevant. Okay, so Nomad Cosmetics was formed they actually have their own factory where they make things, and they say they are indeed nomadic. So most of their palettes, or all of their palettes, will celebrate kind of different places. You know, they got one for Verona, one that's celebrating a safari, Royal Europe. So I am a big champion of independent brands. So I've really wanted to try Nomad, and I'm embarrassed to say that with all of the makeup I try, I have not before. So this is going to be really exciting. Let's take a look at it. Let's look at it in two different lightings and let's try it on. All right, so this is, like I said, an intense eyeshadow palette. 18 gritty shadows and metallic highlights. Let me make sure that you can see that in the pan. Gritty shadows, they call it. Celebrating America's Wild West ghost towns. So I'm out here in California, and depending on where you are in the US, a lot of our kind of western states have these abandoned kind of ghost towns, like a saloon, like a Wild West type thing. I don't usually associate it with Halloween. To me, ghost town has meant less about ghosts and more about abandoned, but I suppose it does kind of go together. And we do have here in Southern California something called Knott's Berry Farm, which has a ghost town and a famous Halloween event and things like that. So it definitely does work. And they have the hologram here, which lets it kind of change. There's also it came with a little, I got my quarter here, came with a little card here that you can see. Let's scratch it off together, see if I won anything. And it looks like I'm scratching it off with my quarter. It says, okay, let's see, guys. It looks like it says I won 15% off my next order, and it gives me a code. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I won there with my little scratcher. Let's take a look at these in two different lightings, and then let's do two different looks with this palette. First of all, let's take a look at these 18 gritty shades of metallics in studio lighting. Here they are on my arm as they are laid out on the palette. Take a good look at those, super pretty. Also in the pan, I don't know if you noticed in the pan, but they have ghost towny, gold miney kind of imprints on them, and old pickaxes and all sorts of fun things in there. Let's take a look now at these in the warm California sunshine. Since I am in the Los Angeles area, and Los Angeles actually is a desert. I don't know if you guys knew that. We're pretty well irrigated, but we are a desert. That's why we panic so much with drought. So we work for the ghost town. There are some actual prominent ghost towns, much more inland. I'm by the beach, but much more inland in California. So if you've ever been to one, you can share that experience down below with us, but very cool. Okay, let's try these on. I'm going to do two different looks, and all the shades have names, which I will put on the screen. All right, let's start here. We have an Esam brush, and I'm going to start, let's do on this eye, let's start with this matte right down here, kind of a cocoa shade, and I'm going to just put that into the crease. Nice and pigmented and spreading onto the eye just beautifully with one fell swoop. That was so quick for such a dark shade. That was really nice. I actually have another Issa brush. Let's take the same shade and go underneath the eye a little bit. Just on this eye, we'll do two different looks. Let's keep that same brush in my hand, and let's go to this shade here, second shade in the palette, kind of a tan shade. And let's just put that all over the mobile lid. Isn't that pretty? It does kind of feel like these are Halloween-y colors. Halloween-y? Spooky season colors. Okay, let's get into some of these metallics. I'm going to keep this brush in my hand. I could do this with my fingers, but we're going to go in right here, and I'm just going to see if I can just kind of pack it on by just kind of pressing and smoothing with this brush. I can also use my finger if I want it a little bit more color payoff. Really nice, no fallout. That's very, oh gosh, that's gorgeous. But I'm actually going to take my finger and put it in there. Ooh, look at that. Then I can pack it on even more densely. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? Wow. Okay, and let's get a shade for the, let's do this shade here. Oh, this thing is moving there. Let's do this shade right here for the inner corner of the eye. And let me show you what we got right there. What do you think? Pretty. Okay, let's do the other eye. Okay, I have here a Refer number 16. And let's go in with this shade right here. Let's do something with these green shadows here. You can make infinite looks, of course, but I'm just testing out the shades and enjoying myself very much, thank you. I'm going to put this shade all over the eye in a plenty. Nice, lots of shade there. And then I'm going to take this brush here, which is the new brush from Merit, and I'm going to take the smaller underside there. This is a really nice synthetic brush from Merit, and use that underneath the eye. I like these with cream shadows. I like this brush with so much. I'll label it down below. Okay, and then I'm going to go in here. We're going to stick with kind of a little bit of a blue-green, and I'm just going to put that into the outer portion of the eye, kind of coming up and out. I don't want to over blend. I just don't want to because it just goes a little too retro. Okay, and now let's do something sparkly and fun. Okay, why not? Let's go in here, same brush. Let's see what that looks like right there in the center. Oh, that's so pretty, you guys. Oh, this palette is just tons of fun. Look at this. I'm enjoying the heck out of this. I haven't had this much fun with an actual eyeshadow palette. I would say even with the Natasha Denona one, which I love. I didn't have as much joy from it, you know? I'm really having joy with this. It's enjoyable and fun to use. And I'm just liking it. I'm going to bring that all the way there. Let's just for fun use one more. Let's go into this silvery shade here and just put that into the inner corner. Well, this Merit brush is great. I've never really used it on powder shadows before. What do you think, guys? So we got two very different looks. One is kind of brown leaning, and I'll take this shade. I'll blend a little bit. I said I wasn't going to too much, but I'll blend a little bit there. But these applied so well. So I've got one kind of green leaning eye and one slightly rosy brown pinkish eye. How quickly was I able to do that? And it still really looks very of the moment, and talk about feeling super fall. You know, I went ahead and reviewed the ABH, the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Fall Romance palette. I'm preferring this one. Even though this is going dark and smoky, it doesn't get away from you easily. They're two entirely different palettes. They're not comparable at all, but I'm just talking about new releases that are kind of, you know, very fall centered. I prefer this one. How much fun is that? And the price, $49 for 18 shades, and you get to support independent beauty. I'm sold. This palette is a ton of fun and perfect for spooky season, whatever that means. So let me know your thoughts below. I mean, that's what makes us a community. A lot of you requested that I make this video, and I had this palette for quite some time. It got stuck behind other releases, so I'm so sorry at the lagging review, which is unlike me. but unfortunately I only release one video a day, so it took me a while to get to it, but what an enjoyable get to it was. Let me know if you purchased it and if you've been playing with yours and if you got as much joy as I did out of it. These kind of things are what makes us a community, so definitely let me know down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. Hey, if you haven't already done so, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. I know that YouTube recommends creators that you have already seen, but if you can actually hit subscribe, it helps me endlessly, and I appreciate it so much. Plus, come on by and say a big hello on TikTok, Instagram, and now on Threads. And don't forget that you can become a bigger part of this YouTube community by becoming an actual channel member. There is a link to join down below in the description bar. It is $4.99 a month, and we have all sorts of cool, weekly, gossipy lives where we talk about pretty much nothing is off limits. So we do have a lot of fun and would love to see you there. You can also give super thanks, or you can just simply shop from those links below where the retailers give a little bit back to the channel. Every little bit helps. But in any way that you are here, please know that I am so happy to have you, truly, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye-bye.